Because our tech cabinet has been visible in several of our videos, some people have asked, what's in there? What do the RV geeks use for their high technology when they're on the road? Now, our motorhome is 11 years old, so obviously our technology has changed over the years. The only thing that's original here is this device here, which is a switching system for video, and this unit here, which is a combination DVD VCR. I'm embarrassed to admit that, but in our defense, we don't use it and we don't need the space. As soon as we do, we'll get rid of it. The only other original equipment up here is the 6-disc CD changer that was part of the original sound system. We don't use that anymore because we have more modern ways to listen to music, but we left it because, again, we have the space and a future owner might be interested in having that. Now, because electronics create heat, this door stays open whenever we're stationary and using our equipment, and this fan stays on to move air through and keep things cool. Now, John is our tech guru who's created all this, so he's going to give you the tour and tell you what's here.
Because technology is continuously evolving, our tech cabinet changes over time. But I'm going to go over with you what we have in place right now that meets our needs. The center of everything is networking. So our Airport Extreme base station is the hub of everything we do. All of our networking devices connect to it, and then it broadcasts our Wi-Fi network for everything else to get online. Our laptops, our iPhone, our iPad, even our printer. It enables us to dedicate IP addresses to specific devices and makes it so that we don't have to change the network we're connected to anywhere we are. Connected to this device is our QNAP. Now, our QNAP is our Network Attached Storage, or NAS device. It's a 6-bay unit, and in it, it has 6 4-terabyte drives for a total of 24 terabytes worth of storage. Now, that's a lot for an average RVer, but because we work on the road and because a lot of our work involves very large files, we have a lot of storage requirements. We use that device partitioned. There are 2 drives in here that are used specifically for our time machine backups for our laptops. So we're a Mac household, and Macs come complete with Time Machine, which automatically backs up any changed files every hour. So that happens wirelessly to these 2 drives. The other 4 drives are in a RAID 5 array, which gives us some protection from individual drive failures so that we don't lose any of our files, and also speeds up retrieval of files when we're picking up large video files to do work on our computers. It speeds up reading them off of that drive. So there are client files for our websites, there are video files for our YouTube video work, and of course there are entertainment files, photos, backups of all of our personal photos, backups of our home movies. So these VHS tapes didn't just go in the garbage. They were digitized and put onto that drive so we can watch our home movies or anything else we have at any point in time we want to. This QNAP also has the ability, therefore, to stream our media files to our TV. So you can download from the QNAP App Store several different video streaming and media streaming apps. We use Plex, P-L-E-X, and it resides on this device, and it can read the files from off of the drive and then stream them to wherever we want, which is pretty handy. Networking, of course, wouldn't be anything if we didn't have access to the internet. Right now, we're parked in a spot that gives us the ability to get access to cable internet. We're using a cable modem that's hooked up right here, and the output from that cable modem is just plugged right into our Airport Extreme base station, and all our devices get online from there. But when we're not on a specific spot hooked up with cable like this, obviously we need to be able to get online while we're on the road. And the device that enables us to do that, you've seen in one of our previous videos, it's our Wi-Fi Ranger. And the Wi-Fi Ranger antenna on the roof is wired to come down into this cabinet and connects to the go-to router, also from Wi-Fi Ranger, and that's what's mounted up on the wall here behind the Airport Extreme. Now, the Wi-Fi Ranger, as you saw in our previous video, enables us to reach out long distance to other Wi-Fi networks. It improves our connectivity in RV parks that have Wi-Fi, or when we're dry camping, there are many times when we're close enough to a local business that offers free Wi-Fi, like Starbucks or McDonald's, that we can get online and at least check email and do some file uploads pretty quick. It also gives us the ability to share our cellular data on our local network. So we can connect our cellular devices to the go-to router in one of two ways. The first is hardwired. There's a USB port on the go-to that we can use to connect either our cell phone or our MiFi device into the go-to so that it can get online through cellular and then share that to our network. Or if we want to keep our cell phone on the desk with us because we're using it for other purposes but still want to be online, we can tether the devices over Wi-Fi. And that's because the Wi-Fi Ranger offers a capability called Wi-Fi as WAN. So the go-to unit actually connects wirelessly to our iPhone or to the MiFi and then shares that over the network for all the other devices. So that comes in real handy when we're out on the road. Now, of course, all of these electronic devices need power. Distribution of power is one of the other factors of all this equipment up here. So we have some surge protectors that are really primarily just to get us extra outlets for power, but also give us the ability to sort of break apart what devices we can power up at any one point in time. So when we're dry camping, we don't necessarily want to have all of this on just because we need to get online. So we can plug just the Airport Extreme base station and the Wi-Fi Ranger into one surge protector, so we just turn everything else off and we can power this on and off when needed to get online without having the QNAP come on too or whatever else. But it's not just distribution of power that we need. Sometimes it's continuity of power that's important. So hidden down low behind the Airport Extreme base station here, there is an uninterruptible power supply, or UPS. And that device basically, again, it's like a surge protector. It has multiple outlets on it, but it also incorporates a battery and a small inverter so that if it detects the power goes out, it kicks over and actually provides 110 volt power to whatever devices are plugged into it. Now, again, for most of you that may not be important, but because we may be copying large files or performing a laptop backup to the QNAP, we don't want that interrupted should there be a blip. That UPS was primarily needed because our old Magnum inverter was not able to kick over and take over the power supply if there was a blip in the incoming power. So if the generator shut down, even just naturally shut down, it often had a blip and these electronics would go out. So we got the UPS for that reason. But ever since we've upgraded to our Xantrex inverter, the UPS has really been sort of a redundancy that we haven't needed because the Xantrex is able to pick up the drop in power so quickly that the electronics don't kick out. We made the room for it, it's here and it works, and having that redundancy for that continuity of power is really never a bad thing. Now, the only other networking device that we have is this little guy over here. This is just a 5-port gigabit Ethernet bridge. And it's here only because we have so many devices plugged in that there aren't enough ports on the back of the Airport Extreme to handle them all. One of the things that we needed extra ports for was the cable that's up here in the top. So that big orange cable in the back there, it's a 50-foot long Ethernet cable that we use so that we can hardwire into the network on occasion when we have large files that we need to back up or transfer. It'll happen over the Wi-Fi, it's just slower. So we can uncoil this cable and string it out to our desk, or if we're sitting outside, we can even take it outside with us and plug in out there in order to get the fastest connection for our backups. But of course, all work and no play makes Peter and I very boring boys. So entertainment is another aspect. The QNAP provides some of it because of, like I mentioned, the media server capabilities with streaming our content to the TV. But our 11-year-old TV was born in the days before they were smart enough to do things like that. That's a dumb TV. So in order to stream the content from the QNAP to our TV, we needed another device, and we're using an Apple TV. This is the latest generation version of it, and we have apps installed on it for things like Netflix, Hulu, all those kinds of things. So when we are online, we can stream those services to the TV directly over the internet. Now again, because our old TV is too old to have multiple HDMI ports easily accessible on it, we needed to use the one port we did have access to and split it. So this is our HDMI switch that gives us 3 ports basically in order to send signal over to the one TV. So the Apple TV is connected in here, and we have a little HDMI extender cable right here, and we can use an HDMI extension to string over to one of the 2 couches and plug to the laptop or the iPhone or the iPad in and stream directly there. And you may be thinking, well, you've got all this great stuff, why would you ever need to do that? There are times, particularly when we're out in remote locations and we want to stream something maybe off of our T-Mobile binge-on plan, that it is just easier to stream directly from the device to the TV, and this enables us to do that. So, like I mentioned earlier, this is all of the equipment that works really well for us. Obviously, your needs may be different, but it gives you an idea of what is possible. Now, if you are interested in any of these devices, we'll include links in the video description below so that you can click through, check them out in more detail, and see if they might fit your needs. Next time this video is done, all of this could be different.
Use on our RV. We'll take 2 simple measurements. There's no need to install it perfectly straight because it's designed to compensate that its current position equals perfectly level. We've moved the RV to a new location and we're leveling as usual using the automatic system. Can find a more level area here. Let's try this one. It's an improvement, but we're still about 3 inches nose low. Let's check out another spot. This one's not bad, but just for fun, let's try again.